What's up, peeps? This is Neo, representing Genetic Avatar, and today I want to talk to you about quantum entanglement and how quantum entanglement shows that the universe is a computer simulation. There was a recent study that confirmed that quantum entanglement is truly what Einstein called spooky action at a distance, and there is no signal. I mean, Let me go back and explain entanglement a little bit first before I go there. Entanglement is basically you could have two particles can become entangled and they can have their spin entangled. And so whatever happens to one particle, no matter how far it is, happens to the other particle. So you have a one particle measured, say spin up, you know that wherever the other particle is, no matter how far away it is, it will be measured as spin down. The two particles are entangled, and therefore their measurements are correlated. So recent studies show, again, and confirm that there's no signal passing between entangled particle pairs. And again, this is why Einstein called it spooky action at a distance. And this sort of troubles people because they think, well, how can two particles be in two different locations but still be correlated in their measurements? And one of the first problems with, why people have a problem with it has to do with semantics. I mean, we call them subatomic particles, but they're not particles as people think in the classical sense. When we think of particles, we think of, say, particles of sand or particles of salt. Anybody with common sense knows if you take two particles of sand and you separate them on the beach, the two particles will be independent of each other. They won't be correlated in any way. But as Werner Heisenberg said, they're not really particles, they're potential, smeared out potential before a measurement takes place. So a lot of the confusion starts with semantics because we call them particles when they're not particles. Now, what does this have to do with a computer simulation? Well, first off, I think there's a lot of evidence out there that the universe is a computer simulation. In fact, it's overwhelming. This is just one more piece of evidence. I'm a computer programmer. I write computer code and design websites. And if you look at quantum entanglement, it only makes sense if you look at it in terms of a computer simulation or a computer program. You have to look at what we call subatomic particles as simply pixels on the space-time screen. Again, subatomic particles are similar to pixels on a space-time screen. And then quantum entanglement starts to make so much more sense because you don't need any signal between any particles in order for them to be correlated. Now let's say I design a website and I have random red dots going across the screen on the website. I also write into the computer code that when any of these red dots come in contact with each other, they become entangled. So now, when I click on a red dot that's entangled, the dot it's entangled with automatically turns green. And I write that into the computer program. So I wouldn't need any signal between the red dots because they're both pixels on a computer screen, just like subatomic particles are just pixels on the space-time screen. So the universe is running a computer program and processing vast amounts of information because that's all it's about now. Now it's just about how fast the computer program, the computer can process the information. One day, we will have the processing power to simulate the universe. And in this simulation, life may evolve. Now, will those simulated beings in the simulation be any less real than we are? Of course not. And this can go on ad infinitum. You can have simulations within simulations within simulations. So like I said, there's mountains of evidence, plenty of evidence that shows the universe is a computer simulation. And quantum entanglement is just one more piece of evidence. And I'll discuss more in future videos.